We have driven loads of electric cars over the last 12 months, many of which, to the untrained eye, are surprisingly similar under the skin. It's a trick that manufacturers have been using for years, sharing parts and platforms in order to reduce costs and improve reliability. And that is exactly what we've got here. This new Skoda Enyaq IV is pretty identical under the skin to something like a Volkswagen ID.4 or an Audi Q4 e-tron. It even shares those cars' 300 plus mile range. So the question is, why should you pick a Skoda over an Audi or a VW? We'll find out in this video review, but before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos go live. Skoda is part of the automotive powerhouse that is the Volkswagen Group, but to look at this as little more than a rebodied ID.4 would be to miss the point. The days of Skoda scrimping on quality just to undercut their premium badge siblings are long gone. This is a car with as many luxury features, tricks and toys as the premium models of yesteryear. Let's quickly start with the exterior. This is the range-topping Sportline model, which, as the name suggests, looks a little bit sportier than the other models you can get. But no matter which one you go for, you get LED lights, alloy wheels, roof rails, and loads of safety kit. Now, if that's not enough, you can go for the bigger battery model, which throws in things like chrome trim, cameras, and extra trinkets. And if that's not flashy enough, you could even spec a light-up grille with 130 LED lights to show the Joneses next door that you're just that little bit better than them. Moving inside, you might be surprised to learn that the materials used, the fit, the finish, and the design all feel and look more upmarket than the equivalent Volkswagen. There is fabric where you might otherwise expect scratchy plastics, a 13-inch infotainment system, and a tall centre console that kind of cocoons you in what is actually a really nice driving position. Some models get a 2-spoke steering wheel, but this got a more conventional 3-spoke layout, and those dials behind there, simple but effective. Moving back to this screen in the middle here, it's fine, it's responsive enough, but some of the menus could be more intuitive. What's more frustrating is that despite this row of shortcut buttons down here, all of the climate controls are hidden away in that screen, which doesn't make them all that easy to use on the move. Otherwise, it's really hard to find fault in here. In true Skoda fashion, practicality is excellent, with cubbies dotted all around the cabin. Skoda has made choosing an Enyaq rather complicated. First you pick your battery, 58 kWh or 77 kWh, then you select your interior theme, loft, suite, lounge or eco suite, or, as we've got here, the Sportline, which, confusingly, is only available with the larger battery. On top of this, you can add various option packs, combining accessories focused on things like comfort, convenience, or connectivity. Rather than talk you through all the kit included with each trim level, take a look at the full review on our website. Just search for Skoda Enyaq on carbuyer.co.uk. We'll come to boot space and rear seat room in a moment, because those are two of the Enyaq's strongest areas. But seeing as we're here, let's see what this thing is like to drive. And I'm pleased to report, on the whole, the news is very positive. The Skoda, like its VW counterparts, ditches blistering acceleration in favour of something a little bit more tame, shall we say, in order to protect this car's range. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You still get that instant shove of acceleration pretty much at any speed whenever you put your foot down. The standard rear-wheel drive models get a similar amount of power, doing 0-62 in between 8.2 and 8.5 seconds, but the four-wheel drive X models get a bit more power and they slash that to 6.9 seconds, but we wouldn't bother with the extra outlay because most buyers, they're not going to need it, and they're not going to need the extra traction in day-to-day driving. In terms of handling, the Enyaq follows its VW Group siblings, feeling safe and predictable rather than particularly fun to drive. It majors though on refinement. This is a really quiet motorway cruiser, and it's good around town too. Ride comfort could be better though, especially on the bigger wheels. If you can, we would try one with the optional adaptive dampers, because they do seem to take the edge off what is otherwise quite a rough ride. There are various settings for regenerative brakes as well, but none of them are particularly strong, which feels like a shame. If you're currently running a petrol or diesel SUV, there are potentially huge savings to be made by switching to electric. There's no road tax to pay, and you'll be exempt from things like the London congestion charge should that be of benefit to you. It sits in the very lowest band for benefit-in-kind company car tax too. How much range you get will depend on which battery you go for. The cheaper Enyaq IV60 models officially manage up to 256 miles on a charge. But it's worth noting that you only get 50 kilowatt rapid charging as standard, which is merely average in this day and age.
You can pay to upgrade £440 at the time of filming to 100 kilowatt fast charging if you think you'll make use of it on a regular basis. Doing so will almost halve the 10 to 80% top-up time from 55 minutes to 33 minutes. The Enyaq 80, depending on spec and wheel size, will do up to 333 miles on a charge, roughly 280 miles in normal driving or a little less in winter. But again, this top model is only available with 50 kilowatt charging as standard. It's the same price to upgrade, but you get 125 kilowatt charging rather than 100 kilowatt. Even with the increased battery size, it will charge to 80% in around 34 minutes. Home wallbox charging takes between 9.5 and 13 hours, depending on which car you go for.
The boot is big, not just by EV standards, but compared with this car's conventional SUV rivals. There's 585 litres with the rear seats in place, which is pretty much the same, give or take, as a petrol-powered Skoda Enyaq. Fold the seats down and there's 1,710 litres, again, pretty much the same. There's no space in the nose like you'll find in a Mustang Mach-E, but there is space under here for the charge cables.
Practicality is, and always has been, a strong Skoda selling point. Despite this being the brand's first purpose-built electric car, you still get plenty of Skoda's fantastic Simply Clever features. The ice scraper in the fuel filler cap is gone, but you still get umbrellas in the front doors. Even ignoring these, most family buyers will be happy with how versatile the car is.
What's more, there's a totally flat floor, which means there's loads of space to put your feet, especially if you're sat here in the middle. One more thing, the doors, they open nice and wide, which makes fitting a child seat really nice and easy. Not as wide as a Nissan Qashqai, but still pretty good. Visibility all round, whether you're sitting in the front or the back, is really decent.
So all in, the Enyaq is a really accomplished family car. But what are the deal makers and the deal breakers? The Skoda is quiet and easy to drive, not quick like a Tesla, but fast enough. The Enyaq is a hugely versatile EV, with loads of practical touches and a big boot. Entry-level models sneak in under the threshold for the government's plug-in car grant, making it one of the best value electric cars on sale. While the Enyaq offers a decent range, you'll have to pay extra for the fastest charging. The specs are confusing, with loads of trim and option packs to choose from. Thankfully, most models come well equipped.
As you can probably tell, we're big fans of this Skoda Enyaq iV. It feels like the kind of electric car that you can switch into without even noticing that you've done it. It's good value, it's massively practical, and it's easy to drive. All reasons that if you don't care for that supposed premium badge, that you should pick one of these over the equivalent Audi or VW. But be careful with those option packs though, they can send the price spiraling. And be sure you need that fast charging as well, because most people, after all, are going to charge this thing at home. But whichever version you go for, if you bag yourself one of these, you've got yourself one of the most capable and well-rounded family SUVs that just so happens to also be electric.
If you enjoyed this video, then why not watch our review of the Volkswagen ID.4 or our electric cars playlist. Thanks for watching.